Before we get started, don't be mad. This video may not be what you think it is. The title clearly represents what we're talking about, but I think some of you, at least, may have inferred something else from this title. The title is obviously, as you can see down below, 8 fragrances that smell way pricier than they cost. I think some of your minds may have inserted the word cheap, just based on the context of the title. And I do apologize, I don't mean to mislead you. I am trying to offer you what it says, but with some depth, more than the typical, these fragrances cost $6, buy them today kind of video. Now, these fragrances do indeed smell more expensive than they are. To me, they have blends and scent profiles that supersede their cost. They smell of a high quality cost to this nose. Now, I want you to do some self-assessment right now. If you are currently a little upset that we're not talking about cheapies, then I would venture a guess that you probably already have a decent collection of super inexpensive fragrances. And me making another video about dirt cheap fragrances is not actually going to serve you. Although I don't believe that any of these fragrances are terribly expensive, if you're not in a position to purchase some of them, that's okay. Let this video serve as a reminder to slow down and save up for something you might truly love. But nonetheless, all the fragrances I'll talk about are close to or under the $100 mark, at the links in the description at least. There is one fragrance on this list that is a little above $100, but don't worry, I'll let you know when it's coming and we'll get through it together. Let's jump right into it. In no particular order, first one up here from the house of Franck Olivier, this is called Oud Touch. This is essentially a clone of a Dior fragrance known as Oud Isfahan. And this is a beautiful scent, but it's not for everyone. It is mind-blowing to me how cheaply you can find this on the discounters. Again, I'm gonna have links down below. I feel like today you can still find it for easily $30 or less, which is crazy. This is a little bit funky oud incense. There's a resinous feel, there's a kind of a smoky feel, and there's this slightly funky feel, but there's a beautiful sweet richness to it. There's a little bit of caramel in here. There's some beautiful rose in here that's nice and full and opulent. It ultimately smells elegant and luxurious, but also confident and authoritative and incredibly high quality for what you pay. So if that sounds interesting to you, check this out. This is kind of a showstopper. Again, you may not like this if you don't like a little bit of funk or edge in your fragrances. That's Franck Olivier Oud Touch. I'm going to save you a little bit of time on this one because I've talked about it a lot lately, but I have to mention it because it fits perfectly here. This fragrance can still be had for a good price down at FragBuy, where I bought my bottle, at least at the time I'm filming. Kenzo Homme EDP. This is one of the most interesting mainstream aquatics that I've put my nose on. Beautiful, leathery, smoky suede depth to a fruitiness on top of this marine-like saltiness. Has great performance, perfumed by Quentin Biche. We will see him pop up again shortly. And I'd recommend you check it out. It's gonna be great for the summertime. A beautiful aquatic with amazing quality and great depth. Kenzo Homme EDP. I recently saw a 50 milliliter bottle of this on FragBuy going for maybe a little bit less than $60, which I think is a fantastic deal for this Pasha de Cartier, the original Eau de Toilette. Now, once again, this will not be for everyone. This might smell a little bit mature to some people. It is kind of an old school fougere. It was released in 1992. And it smells a little bit like it. Smells a little bit like the late 80s, if you will. There is a barbershop feel. There is this clean lavender. There's a creamy, almost sweet, woody mossiness in there. Smells very sophisticated and performs quite well. And the blend here is mind-blowing. It is so smooth. There is a little bit of a spicy quality that some might not like, but overall this thing is so smooth, and I cannot believe you can buy this for less than $100. I can only believe it because it's been out for decades. So obviously that'll bring the price down, but that can't always be said for other things like Nike Air Force Ones. Those are still so expensive. You're welcome. Also way more popular than Pasha de Cartier. If you haven't checked this out, it is a good one, and it will expose you to the heritage of this wonderful house of Cartier, Pasha de Cartier. As I mentioned, perfumed by Quentin Biche. This is called Bois Impérial from Essential Parfum. Now, I've seen some reports of people saying that this, also perfumed by him, smells like Ganymede that he created for Marc-Antoine Bourgeois. I don't believe so, because Ganymede is also known to smell like this, but this has its differences from Ganymede. I think that Kenzo smells a little bit more like this than it does Ganymede. That cleanliness of the Kenzo is here. Ganymede has a bit of an edge to it that this does not have. Very smooth around the edges here. This is clean, slightly spicy, dry, fresh woods with a little bit of an herbal feel. It's pretty light, but it's present. It wears beautifully, and for a niche brand, you can easily find it under $100 for great quality stuff. But don't say that too loudly because we don't want the prices to go up. Essential Parfums Bois Impérial. Okay, it's time. The fragrance that's a little over $100 is here. I want to warn you, it's a really nice fragrance. It's from a fantastic up-and-coming indie brand based out of Canada. From Untamed Perfumes, we have Salish Sea. I've talked about this brand several times in the past, and they make some lovely fragrances. Sent this over for me to try and just get to know. I've had it for a few months now, and I've finally gotten around to putting it in a video because this mainly suits the warm weather. And I was waiting for the warm weather to come. Now it is around the corner. So what does this smell like? Wow. This smells like sunset on a Mediterranean beach. You get this salt water in the air. You get a little bit of an almost orange blossom or some kind of white floral freshness. It smells grassy. It smells herbaceous and a little green. It just smells like warmed air that is cooling off as the heat of the day fades away and the sound of the ocean is just kind of taking over the air. That is what this smells like. It is captivating. It is very transportive. It's beautiful. This could easily be going for $200+. Who knows? Maybe one day it will. But I recommend getting a small container of this one. They do have some travel sizes available. So get you a sample of Salish Sea. This is beautiful stuff. We have an absolute classic from Guerlain. You can find a lot of these classic Guerlains on the discounters for great prices. We're talking $60 or less, maybe even 50 in that $50 range. This one is called Heritage. Not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. This is what I would call an ambery fougere. It does have that clean barbershop lavender kind of herbaceous, mossy, woody feel that's almost creamy that we talked about with the Pasha. However, here there is a pretty prominent sweetness, almost like a vanilla mixing with sandalwood or tonka bean, and it adds this kind of seductive quality to an otherwise everyday gentlemanly fragrance, so much so that I would wear this more in the evening time when I want to have that refinement. And the quality here is just gorgeous, as you would expect from Guerlain. So those of you guys with a little bit more of a mature personality or demeanor, you might dig this stuff. Heritage. Up next is another niche brand whose fragrances can be found for great prices on discounters. From Parfums de Nicolai, this is Patchouli Intense. If you don't like patchouli, don't be alarmed by this. This is more of a clean, earthy patchouli. It's not dark or damp or dirty. There's this pretty strong woodiness. Patchouli has a very distinctive woodiness, but that is mixing with lots of fresh geranium, fresh lavender, adds a cleanliness, and it has a warm, ambery, vanilla, sandalwood-like base. It is a robust fragrance. Intense is right. It's kind of clean, kind of fresh in a classical way, has that chypre vibe, almost a fougere. It's kind of both, honestly. When you smell it and you can examine it in both lights, it has characteristics of both styles of perfumery, but it's very unique. Nothing smells quite like this. It's not gonna be for everyone. It is a very specific scent personality, and for the quality, I cannot believe you can find this for, again, less than $100. Let me know if you've already tried this one. If you haven't, I'm gonna have links down below to Patchouli Intense from Parfums de Nicolai. And the final fragrance from Lalique, I recently purchased this myself from FragBuy just within the last month or two. This is gonna be better for the fall, spring, and winter. Summer, I would not usually reach for this unless it's a summer evening that's pretty mild, then maybe, because it does have some characteristics that remind me of that. I'll explain. This is called Ombre Noir. This is a special fragrance. Now, Lalique is known for their left field fragrances. It is a designer house, but they don't strive to follow the trends. They're kind of doing their own thing in their own corner. If people happen to stumble across their fragrances, then happy day. But they're not in your face, they're not being pushed at you quite like these other brands that are following the trends. The way I can try to frame it, if you've smelled these two fragrances, Kilian's Angel Share, if you've smelled that, imagine that warm, boozy, sweet, spicy cinnamon feel mixed with an almost sharp freshness from Luministe from Frapon. Now, it's not necessarily fresh, but it does have a lightness to it. It's not overly heavy, not like how it might look. It actually has a bit of a transparency, but it's sweet, it's spicy, it's boozy, almost tropical in a way. I get like tropical drink vibes, but grounded by warm, spicy cinnamon and woods. It is an evening scent to me through and through. Again, I would wear this for sure outside of the summer anytime, but in the summer, I'm saving it for the evening. It's beautiful and the quality is wonderful. The scent personality is special, and I think it is worth the sub $100 price tag you can get it for. Lalique Ombre Noir. All right, that's it. I think we all made it. If you've made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. I want you to let me know if there's any fragrances I've talked about that you're interested in or you've already tried and enjoy down in the comments. And once again, there's going to be links to everything I've just talked about down in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.